So let's continue building more pages on Confluence. In this case, let's add a page for the developers and one for the testers so that they can add all the information they need. For the developers, what I normally do is create a page called Dev Space and another one called QA Center for them. And a third is something that I use for myself called the Sprint Management. So everybody in development team would add all the information in dev space. For example, what are the calls to API? They will start documenting all the development kind of coding standards under dev space, and the QA team will start adding the test strategy, the test cases, any links to other test collaboration tools, and all that will be under QA Center. So at any given time, anyone who's in the development team will start looking at dev space and get the information, and anybody who's in QA will add and execute all the test cases which have been defined in the QA Center. For Scrum Master, you will have all that information that you need on the sprint management page, and I normally add things like the velocity information, the sprint information, and all the sprint demos and sprint retrospective. So I'll show you in this video how to continue setting up pages for your Scrum team, and this is something you do beforehand as a very high level, but you make it more depth as you start executing, running the sprints with the team, and you get to know what kind of mindset they are, how much information they need, and accordingly you build that. You don't need to build up the whole Confluence page from the get-go. You set up the framework and then you add the details thereafter. So the structure that I would like to mention here is that this is the kind of things I do. I have a project documentation folder page. I also have a project status, for example, where the management would get linked to that, and at any given time they will be able to see how the project is doing. And also for the sprint management, I will add all the sprint information in terms of the demo for that sprint and the retrospective for that sprint, and that just continues to be built as the team moves forward. And you will add all the Scrum events information under sprint management. So if anybody forgets when a particular sprint planning or backlog refinement takes place or what time, they'll be able to click on this sprint management page and get that information at any given time. Some of the things that I use that I track, and it's very useful, is for every sprint you want to track what was the goal of that sprint and then what was the velocity. So at any given time you will see that the velocity, it was going up or it was not going up. And if it wasn't going up, you can add a comment to say what happened in that sprint. It could be access issue, it could be holiday problem or whatever. So at least you have a very high level flow of the velocity as it moves, and also what kind of goals were completed for every given sprint. The other thing that is very useful is to look at the sprint review or the demo. You want to add a page that is specifically dedicated to that. So you want to be able to create a page for every sprint, and you want to say what was the goal of that sprint and what are they going to demonstrate. And in that demonstrate section, I normally put down what are they going to demonstrate and who is going to present it and which Jira ticket did that feature or the demo kind of associated with. So this way, at any given time, you can see that the proof of concept results were presented by Safraz, and it was to do with the ticket called HDS 66. So this way, the team is knowingly, they know exactly what they're going to demonstrate and which Jira ticket they will manage to complete. At the same time, you want to give them the opportunity to say, we were not able to demonstrate 100% due to some issues or blockers, if they have any, and they can add it here if they want. And at the same time, I used to encourage my team to put a slide of PowerPoint together and present it. One, it gave them the opportunity to put a slide together, and two, how they presented became a big thing for them, because that's a skill that you can carry with you wherever you go as a developer, as a team lead, as a QA. And so I worked with a team. They were very hesitant to do that, but after say 30-40th sprint, they were very expert at it, and they really appreciated that they would be able to put something together and present it in a very concise, short time frame. At the same time, you want to build another page for retrospective, which allows the teams to talk about, what went right, and therefore you want to talk about the positive things. You want to give a shout outs here. At the same time, what they could have done better. So you put down the issues. You want to put action items, what needs to be done, and prioritize and see who's going to deal with it. And for the following retrospective, the team would come back and would actually look at that and say, was there any progress made to the last issues or the points they have raised? Have they been addressed or not? And if they haven't, they just continue to be flowed into the following retrospective action items until they actually deal with that. This way, the team knows that if there is anything that says needs to be improved, it is taken care of and it is actually completed. So let me show you how I will set up these pages on the Confluence. So here we have the Confluence page. Under the content, you want to make sure you click on the content and you want to say create here, create page. You want to make sure that you are not creating under the key information. You want to be creating under the main level. So I want to go one level higher. So I want to be creating at this level. So I want to say create page. So now it's at the main home level. So now I want to say dev space. And I want to publish that. Under the home, yes. Which is here. And I do the same thing again. I click on create space, page. Again, not under dev, but under the content. Configure this one here. I say create page. And this is the QA center. And again, I'll just publish that. And one more for the sprint management. And I publish that. So now we have 3 main pages. Okay. And what you want to do here is to create under sprint management something that you want the team to know about. So I want to edit this page now. And I want to add the sprint schedule. So I want to make sure this is a heading 1. And I'll say this is the sprint events. Okay. And I want to put a table here to say this is event and time and date. Okay, and then maybe put down the purpose so that people know what it is. So we talk about here daily Scrum, and we talk about backlog refinement. And over here you put down here obviously daily at 9:30 a.m. and then you can put here this is going to be every Wednesday at say 10 o'clock 10 a.m. Okay. Once you finish with that, update. Now under sprint management, I want to create another page, sub-page called sprints. So I'll click on that, or I can click on here, page. So it's under sprint. I want to give the here sprint 1 and publish that. Say publish that. So now you can see sprint 1. Under sprint 1, I want to create another page called sprint demo or sprint retro or review. And for review, we want to say, things like what they're going to be doing in terms of sprint. So I put down here the table. So this is the activity and who's going to be presenting and Jira reference number. Okay. And then you want to publish that. And then under sprint again, you want to create another page called sprint retrospective. And here you want to create another table that says activity or the description, and then I don't need this table. I just delete this one, delete column, and you can say shout out to Qasim for helping out with the test cases, for example. And here you can put other information if you want. Okay, and if you want to, and then you want to put another. So here the retro. Here we want to put down, key information. What we can improve. And we're going to put another table here. So we said this is going to be number, description, and then action. So for example, 1, make sure everyone attends meetings on time. Action 2, to lead. Okay, and then I'm going to publish that. So now you can see under sprint management, you have this sprint events and whatever information you need in there. Under sprint 1, you got this information that you can add for sprint 1. But for sprint review for sprint 1, you can add anything here that people will be doing in terms of demonstrating. And for sprint 1, you also have a retrospective. So this is how you create a main page and sub pages, and then all the main pages under that. So if you collapse this one, you'll see that it's all hidden away. So this is how you set up and all the pages. As you can see, Confluence is coming along now with other pages, and eventually when you spend more time with the team, this Confluence page would be key with all the information that you need.